And welcome back, part 3. We are doing WebSockets and it's going great. We left off where we had just deleted a call to set state because we no longer need that. We've essentially replaced half of the fake backend we had with half of a fake backend through WebSockets. So now we've got events going on those WebSockets and we're emitting events so that our page admin just listens for these events. It's amazing. It's really cool, okay? So we're going to carry on with this. Where I left off, we were in the state where we get the data from the server and we can edit, we can enter editing mode, but it won't persist that. We can go back to the normal mode, and when we click delete, hi, simulated Greg. We can try deleting, but it's not going to actually do anything. And this is because we don't have the events on the server yet to edit or to delete. So, let's make those. Okay, so we need to do updates. Let's do updates first. Call props backend update with the ID, the field, and the value. How do we do that? Well, let's copy this functionality. And let's do something like method update data. And we'll use these same properties again. Update with ID, property, and value. Now on the server, we have to take that into account. So we have to do something like, I'm using PHP Storm, which is a slightly different syntax theme to Atom. Same colors. Wait, what? Damn. Okay. Fine. We have to add a new method here, right? What we want to do is when we do our updates from the React components, we want to send a stringified version of what we had before. We were just pushing the updates before, but now we want to send an event to the WebSocket server with the ID, the property, and the value that we've got to update. So, if we go back to the server, we can now handle a new method. Instead of all, we can say update. So if that's the method, well, we want to do something then. We want to say something like this, updates is JSON data. I think that's good. But we don't have an updates array yet, so let's make one. We're doing the same kind of fake logic as we did on the client side, just to get this implemented quickly, because right now we don't have a database backing this or anything. So, right, updates, JSON data. In fact, while we're here at the same time, we can do method delete. And we can update the deletes array. Now, we're not persisting these yet. We're not persisting how we do this stuff yet. We probably want to do something like the filtering and the mapping in here for now. So let's actually do that. Let's do that. We'll return array filter as the first thing. Page. And what were we doing with this filter logic on the backend that we previously had? Return. In fact, I'll just do this. Why not? I'll just do this. Okay. So this deleted, but now we have to do something. Now we have to do something else. We have to use php.net function array search. Is that the method we have to use? Array search. Searches and returns the corresponding key if successful. Or false. Does it return false? False otherwise. Okay, so that's fine. Array search, needle, haystack. Okay, return array search, page ID, and this deleted. And if that's not equal to false, then it's not in that array. What else do we want to do here? Array map. Now, I forget where the map is callback. Okay, map is callback first, sure. So function page And this gets array filter as a second argument. And we close that off. Okay, so we filter it first, and then we map it. How do these maps work? Let's go back to our backend. We get a modified page. For each update, if the ID matches the page, we modify the page. Okay, we can do that. Let's go back to our server, and let's say modified is page. For each this updates as update, if update the first index is the same as page ID, page update the second index is the third index, and return modified. Okay, I think this might work. Don't try that in production mode. This is by far an inefficient implementation. It's a very, very, very simple thing so that we can get quick results in here without using memcache or using a database or having any kind of locking. And this is a great problem when it comes to doing parallelized execution of stuff, is that you have state is sometimes a problem. So be careful if you're running this in multiple workers. Anyway, let's see if that does the trick. I can actually comment these both out because I'm not using them anymore. So we don't have to modify this, we don't have to modify... We do have to modify this because I want to enable the deletes as well. So I'll just do this, and the method is delete, and I can comment this out. Okay, so we're sending socket requests for all of these actions, and we're listening to data events, listening for data events. Go back to the server. This seems okay. A quick way to tell is just to restart this, and if we get the initial data back, oh, it's not even this endpoint. Give us the initial data back. Aww. Array search parameter 2 to be an array. Array search parameter 2. This deletes. Not null. Let's try this again. Interestingly though, we're getting a warning which is coming through from a separate worker, which is pretty cool. Because remember, a couple days ago when I tried this, I was having difficulty seeing what the worker was outputting, or the WebSocket was outputting. So now we have the stuff coming through, which is a really cool change for us. Okay, do we have another error here? No. But it doesn't seem to be returning data to us. That's interesting. I think it's a problem in my logic though. We want to do if this is equal to false. In other words, if it's not found, then return it. Oh, we need to restart the server. File Watcher would be a really cool addition to debug mode, just saying. Okay, we're getting the stuff back. Is this doing anything interesting? No? That's not doing anything interesting. Returning a map, we're returning a filter, but it's not updating these. I wonder if it's updating the internal list of stuff. This updates. Let's return this updates, just so I can see if it's actually storing updates in here. I wonder if this will break, actually, come to think of it, because it's an array. Okay, empty. That doesn't actually do anything. DevWicker, I have been a programmer for around 10 years, a bit more. Not always PHP, but most of it PHP. Good old language. Very little of it for asynchronous PHP. File Watcher may have issues with half updated files, but we already thought about it. Sweet. I haven't used File Watcher yet, so it's not a problem for me yet. But thanks. Okay, so all is not really doing the trick. All is not really doing the trick. What I actually need to do is when we get updates, I need to call this all again. Well, do I really need to? I need to emit an event. That's what I needed to do. I need to emit an event. This is a bit repetitious, so we'll try and look at a way to simplify that later. Anyway, this may receive updates now. Let's see. Connect, show. Nothing. Give me updates! Oh, oh man! Print updates. And actually, in fact, we want to send this to everyone, so I'm going to take client ID out of there because we want everyone to receive these updates. But I'm interested in seeing if that update actually fires, because debugging mode. Updates! So it gets here, it just doesn't send this back for some reason. Or if it does, it doesn't map this stuff properly. Oh, I know why! Because I'm not mapping modified! Okay. Yeah! Look how fast that is! That's going to the server. Let's check it out. In fact, we can put this on the left and we can put this on the right. Moom is the application I'm using for that. Okay, so we can edit this and we can remove all this ghastly stuff. Look how quickly that updated. That's pretty rad, hey? That's pretty rad. We've got our backend going here. We can delete this. Oh, that did something wrong. Didn't do anything, actually. Time to delete. We've got lots of updates because we updated lots of things there. I probably want to delete this echo here. Probably don't want to do that. Okay, delete. Moom, M-O-O-M. It's pretty sweet. In fact, this isn't even it. You can define custom things in Moom. So you can say, oh, just resize it to this consistent size, or make it a bit smaller, or align it to a different place, or maximize it. It's pretty sweet. I think it also provides this. I'm not sure if this is a Mac OS thing or if this is a Moom thing, but you have smart edges as well. So I can drag this to this edge. Or I can drag this to this edge. It's really cool. Okay, we've got the edits going, but we don't have the deletes going for some reason. That's pretty interesting. So why not? If method is delete, let's have a look back here. Delete calls the method delete and gives it the data of ID. So let's echo out here. Print delete. And we'll restart this. And we'll refresh this. Wow, it didn't like me dragging it there for a second. Delete. Deleted. That's interesting. But for some reason, it doesn't filter the stuff out. So array filter oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's, yeah, you're right. That is interesting. So how do we store this stuff? We just say delete is, oh, I just need to send the first one of those. Well spotted. Delete? No! It wasn't all of it, unfortunately. Oh, maybe it was, for some reason. But now look here, what's going on? What's going on? In page admin, on delete, I just call backend delete. On update, I just call update. For some reason, this returns an empty value. And I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why. What is array filter? What is array map? Could this return null? Wow, that is the wrong place to look for that. Could array filter return null? What? I don't understand what you're saying. They write the selection in that one file. What you saying? What do you mean? Tell me what you mean! I'm gonna restart. Refresh, refresh. Delete, nothing. Delete, nothing. Edit, delete. It's pretty weird. That's pretty weird. If method is data and JSON data. Oh, where am I going? Is that a new error? I'm super confused. What's going on? Okay, I know what. Let's go back to the client side and let's echo out this whole thing. Log event data. Dun dun dun. Okay, method data, and data has an array of stuff. If we hit delete, method data, we still have the same array of stuff. Oh, method data. Oh yeah, that's fine, that's fine. Hit that again. Delete. Oh, so that item is gone? No. What? ID is that? Comma 1. Oh, so 0. Okay, no, I see what's going on. 1, 2, 4. State pages map. What's going on? Let's see my data. Oh! No, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Has anyone spotted the problem? I get what looks like normal data, but then in line 32, which is... Wait, what? On line 32, which is this render step, pages is null. So... burning baskets, of course. Console log, event data. Let's do this here, and in the backend, let's just ignore this. Because setting that state is where the problem's happening. Restart the server to reset the data. Delete. Delete. Delete many times. And it still returns the same list of stuff. Hit delete on something else, and it returns a modified list, but pages is null. That's interesting. Maybe it's got something to do with this. So on updates, we call this endpoint with data. On deletes, we call this endpoint with data. And these are exactly the same. But I think it has something to do with this. I think this array search is the problem. In fact, what I'm going to do is replace this with a loop. This deletes as delete if delete is page ID, return false, else return true. Because I don't trust that array search. Maybe we should refresh this. We don't have a reconnection to the server. Hey! Oh. There we have that error again. It's removing this stuff, but for some reason it's not setting the state back on this thing. So I don't think we're in a much better place than what we were before. Open, message, if that's data, emit this. And then in page admin, we set state. That's super weird, man. That's super weird. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I think I'm going to debug that later, because I'm getting kind of tired now. So I think a lot of progress was made. I connected to WebSockets through this thing. I sent communication and shipped almost the whole working backend to the server. So now we can have multiple windows open and we can make changes across multiple browsers, and that's cool. This is a persistent connection, and even though we're doing WebSockets here, the normal HTTP server performs very well. There are, I touched on the surface of what Aerys does compared to the previous time I tried. And I think there's a lot of goodness there. I think I can come up with some interesting applications, and maybe you can too. So, I don't know. If you think of something, let me know on Twitter. I'm going to go. I'm going to be back tomorrow night. So an hour and 20 minutes ago in your time zone. I'll be here tomorrow. So come back and check again. I may continue on this. I may do something new. Who knows? Hard to tell. Come back and see. And if you want notifications about when these shows start, you can also sub on Twitch. That would be cool. Or follow or favorite or whatever it's called. I'm going to go. Thank you very much for being here. It's been fun.